Hi, I'm your host, Anand J. Sukhadia, and this is the Limitless One podcast. Join me on this journey as I interview the most inspirational souls who are tapping into their limitless blueprint on a mental, physical, and spiritual level to thrive in uncertain times. If you feel you are so much more than just this body, just this life, and want to tap into your limitless potential, you're in the right place. Here we go, starseeds. Have you ever wanted to experience the digital nomad life and travel the country for an extended period of time? Today's guest will tell us about his travels through the US over the last 30 days, becoming a tech entrepreneur and building a phenomenal tribe around his passion. Welcome to the Limitless One podcast, everyone. I am your host, Anand J. Sukhadia. Today, we're going to go limitless with a very inspirational and positive soul, Ben Yurcisin. Ben is the founder, CEO of BeYu Social Media Marketing. He brings Jersey City together at the Jersey City Tech Meetup and is also a transformational coach. Ben is passionate about helping individuals and brands find and amplify their authentic voice and live a life of purpose. He is a master of creating community. He also hosts and MC monthly events covering diverse topics in tech, moderating panel discussions, and creating a hub for innovation. As a world traveler with a never-ending curiosity in life, Ben has a yes attitude towards everything in all life experiences. He spends the free time jamming the guitar, snowboarding, and inspiring all those around him to live a life of positivity. Welcome to the podcast, Ben. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm great. Thank you so much. And honestly, I want you to introduce me at every gathering I ever have for the rest of my life. You know, you say it so smooth. I'm like, I'm like, who's this guy talking about? That sounds like a rock star. I'm like, oh, it's me. It's just the way you say it is awesome.
So everyone knows I'm available for voiceover. So yeah, welcome to hire me.
Oh yeah, Bobby, brother, I'm feeling so great. I'm back home from the travels now, so I've been getting back into my routine, back into meditation and the working out. So I'm feeling very grounded and just present, and really excited about what the future holds. So I'm happy.
Beautiful. And I see you're all zenned out in your Mayan temple background right there.
Bro, we got to find peace somehow, right? Even if it's virtual temples.
100%. So Ben, let's get right into it, brother. What does living a limitless life mean to you?
Limitless life to me is really not living life to anyone's terms but your own. Thinking about what it is that truly ignites you, fires you up, and inspires you, and kind of living in your truth, right? I've worked a 9-to-5 job in the last 5 years of my life, and that was a limited life for me. And for some people, that might be a very good life that, you know, that's fulfilling and meets all their needs. But for me, it wasn't limitless because I was having to ask, oh, can I take some time off to go have this adventure, this or that? And I'm just like, I constantly feel like someone else control my life. So for me, a limitless life is when you're doing the things that really resonate with your heart and you're living in your truth.
Beautiful, brother. And, you know, just from knowing you through the Jersey City Tech meetups and the community, man, you're such a positive guy. And you're like, you always have a smile on your face. What is it about life that you love so much? I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Oh my God. You know, that's the thing. For everyone that sees me online, and I want to express this more. It's like, I'm smiling all the time and I'm happy because when I'm around people, because I want to spread the positivity, and I am happy, but there is a shadow side too that we all face. So I want to make it clear that I'm not happy all the time, especially, you know, the people very close to me can see that other side of me. But the thing that I love about life is that there's endless possibilities. Like, it's so exciting to me that, especially since I've become a full-time entrepreneur, that really anything that you can dream of, you can make happen, right? And I'm just happy about all the amazing people that are around me and support me and this life I've created for myself, and just the fact that there's so much to be grateful for, really. And I really like stress the part about having these amazing people by your side, because kind of as I've gone further and further down my life path, it's clear to me that it doesn't matter what I achieve. If I'm alone, it's not going to feel that great. Even if I achieve so much greatness of like it's so important to me personally to just be surrounded by incredible people. Like, I'm grateful for you, like to have you in my life, and Joe Cameron introduced us, and like I love him and all the people in my network and my community. That's such a beautiful thing. So I mean, really, I'm so happy and positive about the people around me and the fact that all my dreams and my vision for life, I have the support system that pretty much I feel like I can't fail because they all got my back. So that's just a really great feeling, and I love that.
Yeah, such truth, man. Like human connection for me is like the ultimate. Like without human connection, yeah, you can make millions of dollars, be all alone, be miserable. But if you don't have anyone to share it with, like what's the point of this whole journey? And I really truly believe, like for me, this is the whole purpose of being alive, is to connect with these beautiful souls that are here, and you know, and to inspire other people to live more full, like limitless lives. And I think that was the whole point of this podcast, and you know, interviewing amazing guys like you, is because you know, we're so invested in bringing community together, bringing so much joy and happiness into our own lives, so then it overflows into other people's lives. And I think if everyone gets to that mentality rather than a scarcity mentality, they think in abundance, like, whoa, this life is completely wide open for me to achieve anything that I want to. That's really the direction where it's the most positive outcome for humanity. Because if we're living in this scarcity, you know, mindset, in this division mindset, it's never going to bring us anywhere to a positive outcome.
Exactly. And I just, on that note, the abundance mindset is very important, because you can have these huge goals and dreams and visions. But if you're thinking, yeah, I'm only going to be happy once I get there, then that's setting yourself up for failure. Because once you could learn to love life for what it is right now, and I'm reading The Power of Now right now, so this actually is resonating with me because I just read a page yesterday. It's like, you free yourself of drama once you can accept exactly what is, like right now. And it's just so true, because sometimes I get caught up in the mentality of like, oh my God, I'm not moving fast enough. I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm not further along the path. But then I come back to myself, and just once I can realize I'm extremely abundant right where I am now, even if not as financially abundant as I desire to be, I still am abundant in life, the people around me, the experiences I have, all this. So it's important. I want everyone to think more of like, how am I abundant now versus when will I be abundant?
Yeah, that's what separates this mindset, is that gratitude for this moment right now. Absolutely, 100%. So Ben, tell us a little bit about how you got to this place. Walk us through your journey as a young baby Ben, and you know, how you got here.
All right. I'll keep the life of Ben. So I was born in a hospital. It was crazy. There was babies screaming all around me. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even know how to talk. So no, I'm just kidding. But that's how it all started. But so I grew up in the Jersey Shore area, down by Seaside, and for a lot of my life growing up, I felt very different from, and I feel like a lot of people say like I wasn't one of them. I felt different, but I truly did. Like, I mean, growing up, I didn't have any problem making friends. I made friends easily because I guess I'm good with human connection. That's my thing. But I was never part of something, right? It was like I could make friends with the football team, and then the skaters and the punks and all that. Like, I'm friends with everyone, but I didn't really like have a home. So a lot of my young life was just trying to figure out, like, I knew like something was a little different about me. And I just wanted to kind of figure out what that meant and how I could apply that to my life. Kind of fast forward to when I'm getting ready to go to college, really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my whole life. And I felt like I had this superpower, right? Something about like being able to like have this deep connection with people and have an influence and impact, but I didn't know what it was. So I ended up knowing that I was good at math and science. So I went to Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken and studied engineering, right? And even though I didn't know what I wanted to do, that's why I studied engineering management, because it's like project management and business. So I figured wherever my life goes, whatever direction, I can kind of apply that really anywhere. So I'll skip through the college years. A lot of fun was had. Learned a lot of lessons. It was a great experience. And then afterwards, I started a full-time job as an IT consultant. And I don't want to talk bad about the experience. And I was doing that for 5 years because I learned so much from that experience. And I had a lot of great opportunities. I actually got to go live in London for 3 months, which I could talk about that alone for days. But I just learned so much about business and life and kind of like how to deal with certain types of people. But always deep down inside of me, something wasn't right. Just working for someone else, like I needed a bigger purpose, right? I needed to feel like I was doing something that really resonated with me and that I was the leader of a pack or something like that. So that's when I started dabbling in the entrepreneurial journey. It all kind of started at Propelify Innovation Festival in Hoboken, New Jersey. This is 4 years running now. And I basically went there because I knew there's a lot of entrepreneurs, speakers, and there's a lot to learn. Didn't have a business I started, but I just wanted to go just explore and kind of to see what was up and meet people. Because I always believe that even if you don't know exactly what you want to be doing, it's good to just expand your network and just connect with people. Because one day that you'll be like, oh, I have a guy for this, or I have a guy I could talk to about that. So I went there, and in all honesty, I was just going to kind of have some drinks and have a good time, right? But the drinks were $11, and I was like, this is too expensive. But I saw the VIP section, and the drinks were only $2. So I was like, I told my buddy, I was like, listen, we need to get in the VIP section. The drinks are more affordable there, man. We can get drunk for the price of one drink out here. That was my mentality then. See, I was still like in the party, like college vibe. So he's like, dude, how are we gonna get in VIP? I said, just hold on. Just wait a minute. Follow my lead. We're going to stand near the entrance and watch the speaker that's talking right now. It was James Alltoucher. I remember it. But I was like, once I start moving, just follow me. So I'm near the VIP entrance, and basically I see this whole team of like a camera crew going over to go into the VIP. They all got there. There's like 8 guys, and they're talking to security, and there all of a sudden some confusion started. I could sense confusion. I guess like they were like looking for the badge, or like they're like, what company are you with? And then once I sensed that confusion, I was like, all right, time to strike. So I saw the security go, all right, guys, come on in to the team of cameramen. And then I just grabbed my buddy. We just got right in with them and just walked right behind them. Never looked back. Once we were in, we were in. I was like, all right, we did it. We're in here. So we were just chilling, like talking to all these people, like who were probably wondering, like, who the fuck are these guys? But I was like, hey, we belong here, right? I was just acting like we belong there. And trust me, this is all going somewhere. This is then I saw a woman interviewing a bunch of entrepreneurs, right? And it looked like these were really fun interviews. And I was like, I wonder what she's talking to them about. And my friend is like, I don't know, man, but we probably shouldn't get on an interview because we don't really have a business and we're not really supposed to be here. Yeah. But I was like, nah, this is our time. This is our time to get known. Like, I always had this like thing in my head about, I got to get famous. I was like, this is our time to rise. So it was the end of the day. I go up to her. I'm like, hey, I was just wondering, like, what are you interviewing people about? And she's like, well, we're just interviewing all the entrepreneurs of the day who are creating badass businesses. And it's really exciting, but I'm pretty much wrapping up for the day. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting you say that, because I just started a business myself, actually. And just making this up out of my ass, bro. It's just like, oh, really? What kind of business do you have? I was like, oh, I actually am a fun consultant. I help people find fun. It's and then she's like, wow, it's like, this is really interesting. I was going to wrap up for the day, but would you like to do an interview? And I was like, well, I was going to get going, but I could squeeze it in. So she interviewed us. And by the way, I'll give her a shout out here. This is January Barnes of Parlay Me. And she has this whole vlog that's awesome, huge following. And she just does all the tech and entrepreneurship in the New Jersey scene. So basically, this video is on YouTube. I made up a company on the spot in the interview called Fun Finders, right? Basically helping people find, like, being a coach for fun. And once we did that, then she released it the next day, and there's a huge following of her vlog. And I was like, oh shit, this is out in the world now. It's not a joke anymore. This is real. So that was the moment. Actually, hold on. I'll think, how are we on time? I know.
But keep going, brother. It's great.
Because then I knew at least Fun Finders, like, we got to start this business, but I was still kind of like waiting for the right time. Then it was one day at the end of the summertime. I tripped hard on mushrooms, right? I took something like 4 grams and went out into Hoboken, and I was just kind of like, it was a crazy day. Like, I was just working through so much. And like, I remember the day ended with my face down in dirt and grass, right? I had dirt all over my face. And that day I said, it was like something switched to me. I just go, tomorrow I'm starting my business. Like I knew like that day covered in dirt and grass, like tomorrow is the day I start my business. I had like some sort of transformation where I knew like this is where it began. And then Fund Finders was the first business I started. It didn't succeed, but I'll never look at it as a failure because of all the lessons I learned and the connections I made along the way. Through that, I actually met some people kind of like collaborating with businesses to try to find fun places to send people to. I actually met the guy who runs the Jersey City Tech Meetup, Dan Sullivan. And just through my, like I said earlier, where I said, you know, don't worry about what your end goal is, just be open to meeting new people and talking, because he actually was looking for someone to take over the meetup. He was moving. And just from my 5-minute interaction with him, he said, you're the perfect person for it. And I would love if you took it over. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So that was about 2.5, 3 years ago. Started running these monthly events, becoming kind of a leader in Jersey City and like really connecting people and building community, which is something that I learned I'm very, very passionate about. And Fund Finders ended up fizzling out. And then basically what happened was, just jumping forward to last year, is that I got laid off my full-time job because with COVID, they didn't really have new work. It was in the construction industry doing IT and construction. And I told people and they're all like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, this is the kick in the ass I needed to start that full-time entrepreneurial journey. Right. So literally the week after I got laid off of my job, BeYu Media was born. So I found out through a partner of mine that I work with overseas that Ben Yurcisin has BeYu in it, BeYu. And I did 29 years of my life. I never put that together, but I'm always telling everyone to be more authentic, be yourself in life, be you. So BeYu Media was born. I partnered with the guy who was helping me with my content for my personal brand, and been doing that full time ever since. That was last July. And I've been on the entrepreneurial journey, and it's just, yeah, a lot of things. One thing led to another, but it's just really exciting to finally, for the first time in my life, be doing just what I want with no baggage of having like a full-time job or like trying to like sneak doing work for my company. Like it's finally just the time where my whole life I was either going to school or I was going to work, but this is the first time in my life where I'm limitless, as in no one's telling me shit what to do. Like it's all on Ben, full responsibility, full accountability. And it's scary as fuck, but it's the most freeing feeling in my life. And I couldn't be more excited about where I'm at to date.
Wow, brother. Yeah, you know, the biggest takeaway for me is that there's absolutely no setbacks. I've had so many friends that were laid off during COVID and they started businesses and they're thriving now. And they said, my goodness, that was the biggest blessing of my life. So, you know, sometimes the mist doesn't clear until it's a little bit later. And then you realize, oh, wow, this was the best thing that happened to me. So for anyone who's going through, you know, some hardships and, you know, maybe laid off or something like that, look at the opportunities that are available to you, because, you know, Ben created his dream business, and it, you know, your business is actually complete alignment with who you are as a person. You want to help people expand their brand. So can you tell us a little bit about BeYu Marketing and what you guys do?
Yeah. So basically, I feel I've struggled a lot with my marketing as a business owner, kind of throughout my past as an entrepreneur. And I know how hard it is when you're a CEO and founder for a small business owner to also manage and create content and do all that hard stuff to actually show people who you truly are, right? Some people put out content that is kind of just like stock photos or whatever it may be, but it's not really giving people an idea of what this brand is. So with BeYu Media, I'm really working with business owners to understand exactly what their vision is, what their mission is, what they're trying to accomplish. And we're creating content and managing their pages to show people the true face of who they really are, so that, you know, when people see them online amongst the competition, you can stand out because no one can be exactly you, right? That's, in my opinion, that's like, people say, oh, what's my competitive edge, this and that. And I think it's very important that you don't just try to fit the mold of like what people do in your industry, right? So with BeYu Media, we help kind of extract exactly what sets you apart in your uniqueness, and then kind of push that out into the world and portray that so that everyone really can see how awesome you are, and really bring people through your door and grow your business.
Amazing. It's so needed. You know, everybody needs that personalized touch. Otherwise, what is your unique selling proposition? Why would somebody come to you over somebody else if they're just looking for you? So you really stand out. Now, Ben, from going from a corporate job where, you know, money was kind of like guaranteed safety going to starting your business, was it a hard transition? Because it was basically something that was like just thrown upon you, like, losing your job, but were you able to scale pretty quickly? Tell us a little bit about the journey of building this business.
Right. So let me put it this way. I guess when I first started, I was thinking I would have real consistent money so much quicker than it realistically happens, right? So one thing I want to say is everyone building a business from nothing, that shit takes some time. So
a week too. That's what you had, right?
Exactly. I'm like, all right, well, what the fuck? Where's all the fucking money coming in? And I was thinking I'd have like, a bunch of consistent clients right away. And I'm learning to be more okay with the process because, to be honest, it didn't scale as fast as I wanted it to, but that's okay because I'm impatient. I want to see results immediately, but there's a part of, I have to build the foundation here, right? And I realized when I was kind of starting to just go too fast, I was like, wait, I got to step back here and really figure out what it is I want to help people with, why I'm doing this, exactly what my process is. So, and now I'm getting to that point where through word of mouth, a lot of people are coming to me. And like, that's the beginning is always the hardest part. Like once, for me personally, I feel like once you have like a bunch of people, that's where my project management comes into play. I'm good if I have a bunch of clients and figuring out how to delegate and like assign to my team, right? It's getting people through the door when you have nothing to start is the challenge. But that's when, you leverage the network you have. And that's what I did. I really leveraged the Jersey City Tech Meetup community. I reached out to a lot of the panelists I used to have, business owners I know that came to the events. And I said, hey, like, I just started a social media marketing company. I'm doing discounted pricing because I'm just starting off. So I was wondering if you know anyone. And through kind of just really hustling and actually like just hitting up people individually, I had some clients and I built some websites for them. And then from those experiences, word of mouth. Now I'm getting people coming in from just the few people I've worked with that have really said, they had a great experience for me. And for me, my value prop is some people want to work with these bigger social media marketing companies. Generally, you just kind of get in a queue or like work with a bunch of different people and don't really know, you don't get a lot of attention to you, right? Let me put it that way. And when the way I see it is when people work with me and choose to work with me, I care so much about the business owner and they work directly with me. So it's kind of been a matter of building the right way versus kind of going too fast in the wrong direction and really just showing people that I actually care about their business and I'm not just here to make a quick buck from them. So to answer your question, it has not been, there's much more comfort with a full-time job, the money coming in all the time, but this is uncertainty that's both scary and exciting because it allows me to like kind of figure new tactics out and find ways to grow and scale from there. But now I'm at a point where I'm really feeling confident about everything.
Yeah. And what's great is that you actually sat in the driver's seat of running an organization with the Tech Meetup and all your other entrepreneurial ventures. So it's not like, you went from corporate to nothing. You basically scaled this entire time and you build a great network. And I think that's one of your biggest strengths is your ability to build this tribe. So tell us a little bit about we heard the story just a little bit about how you became the CEO of the JC Tech Meetup. But tell us about like why you love it so much and like what is your mission with the Jersey City Tech Meetup?
Honestly, like out of everything, the Jersey City Tech Meetup, that excites me so much. Like it brings so much fire to my soul, especially after like an event I have. I just feel so good about that. My mission really is to bring all the diverse and beautiful minds of Jersey City and beyond together into the same room to create a hub for innovation, education, and fun. I just said that felt so natural. Like that's not even a line I wrote down or anything. That's like literally just what I really enjoy doing. I want to bring people together because I know so many different people have so many different skill sets. And something that's always just like fired me up is if I know one person and they are looking for like a certain type of person and then I have that person in my network and I introduce them and then they start working together, that lights me up. So I thought like, how can I do that on a bigger scale? Like, how can I really just bring all these people together and just create an opportunity for people to collaborate? So that's what excites me about the Tech Meetup. But yeah, once I took it over, I actually ended up partnering with Joe Cameron and he helped with the social media and did a great job and really helped me bring it to the next level and kind of have these much bigger events, kind of like Green Rush, which is an event I had at Zeppelin Hall, where basically we covered the whole cannabis industry and had vendors, and it was a whole bigger thing. So really what I love about it is the feeling at the event when I see a bunch of people together, good vibes, good music, good energy, and they're just like hanging out. And I just know I brought them all together. But then not only that, then afterwards we host a panel discussion of covering all different topics. So I basically get to like have my own podcast where I get on stage and I ask these panel of experts in whatever industry I'm doing. I just ask them the things I want to know. It might sound selfish, but like I just ask the things I want to know about industries. So I'm getting to learn a ton of shit about a new industry every month that interests me, while there's a whole audience that gets to learn all that with me. And there's this community feeling, and we're all just having a good time learning together. And just something about the fact that I brought that all together just makes me feel really, I guess, significant, you could say. Like I want to feel, I guess I've always had this feeling since I was a kid, like I just want to like matter and do something impactful. And like when I do those events, it makes me feel like I've done something impactful. And that's a really, really good feeling.
Yeah, and it goes in alignment with your desire to bring people together. This is like just like an extension of who you are. So having a platform like that, and I've been to several of your events, and it's always, the people are so friendly. They're always so like welcoming. Anytime I go there, I'll just meet anybody and then just start a conversation with them. And one of the things I love most about what you do as well is, and I do it myself, it's like it's a game of memory. So like if I meet somebody and they have you ever played that game Memory? It's like a card game.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if you were too young or too young, but yeah, that's what I feel like. It's like, okay, I met this guy back in 2012. He was doing this particular thing in this industry, and now today, fast forward, this guy's looking for some kind of connection, and I have these people on my contact list, and I'll reach out to them, and I've created so many deals in that way, and it brings a lot of happiness because you're creating value to people. And then it's not like you're ever expecting anything in return, but when you do need some help, you reach out to them, hey, do you know anyone that has this? They're going to like bust their ass to help you because, the value that you created for them. So this is how we build a community, right? It's like we help each other out and not looking about the short term, hey, what's in it for me, but how we move from there.
And it's funny you say that about memory, because like I used to play memory too in my head with all my contacts, and then I got like too many contacts and I was forgetting. I have a huge ass spreadsheet now. When I meet people, I put like name, email, what industry are they in, what can they help with. So now like if someone's looking for some shit, I'll just go into my spreadsheet and do like virtual reality, and then all the people in that industry. I need to keep things organized. Otherwise, the way my brain works, I can't focus if I have too much shit going on here. So I take every opportunity I get to get all the stuff out of my head somewhere, whether it's a journal, a spreadsheet, something.
Yeah, I do. I'm not as tech savvy with the Excel worksheets, but I know how to use them, but I have my contact list. So I write like, like this person's reality, virtual reality, or this person, global trade and sugar or something, whatever it is. Like I'll have these people there. So yeah, I've attended a couple of the events, like, your biggest one is the Green Rush. You just recently had a digital one, right? For that?
Yeah. So I actually in December, I had the Green Rush digital version, which was awesome because we covered a lot of what's happening in New Jersey, the state of the cannabis scene, which is a lot of great progress we're making, and it's legal, which is obviously a process that's not just overnight. It's going to take up to a year until it actually comes out, but I'm very grateful to live in New Jersey for that. But yeah, so we had that on December, and then in March, we just had women in cannabis. So kind of covering some of the badass women that are doing stuff in the space who are often parts of the events anyway. But Chelsea Duffy, who's actually an awesome collaborator of the Green Rush events, she had an idea to kind of bring together a women panel. So did that in March. Was awesome. And for anyone who's interested in any of these, they're all full videos online, Jersey City Tech Meetup on YouTube. You can check out any of them because there is a ton of value. I learned so much from each event. Like I love that too. Like not only bring people together, but I just learned so much because I'm always trying to grow and kind of just be more of an expert in many different things.
Yeah, totally. I think my favorite event was the wellness event that I was a panelist on. So that's awesome. On YouTube. Check that one out.
Yeah, no, that was you were incredible at that. We met before. I was trying to.
That was 2019, I think, October 2019, something like that.
When did we first meet? We met before that, right?
We met at the Green Rush, the first one in 2018, I believe, or maybe it was 19. No, I think it was 18 when you did it in like April or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Life flies by so fast. We're looking back like 4 years now. I was like, holy shit. But yes, everyone, the health and wellness one, Zen Out, that was awesome. You killed it on that. And yeah, we gotta make some stuff happen again, because that, first of all, that's a great topic. I think everyone loves those, because especially in the hustle and bustle of just tech and business, all that stuff, we more than ever need to learn to chill and actually find our center. And you are a master of that. So it was great to have you. We're definitely have to make another one happen.
For sure, brother. So I know recently you just came back from an amazing trip, 30 days traveling the country. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to do that, especially with all the things that you're juggling, right? You're doing Jersey City Tech Meetup, you have your business, a couple other things as well. So what prompted you to do that?
For those who don't know, I have an amazing life partner, Sisa. She's incredible. She lived in San Diego, and I guess for the last couple of years, she had goals and ambitions to move to the East Coast. It was calling her. She wanted to move here. She finally decided it's time to make it happen now. And we started kind of talking later last year. And when we were starting to see each other before we were really committed to each other, she would say, she was like, Ben, you know, I'm driving across the country in March. You should come with me and be part of the journey. And like, I remember I was such a dick. I was like, you know, I got to see where I'm at with everything by then. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not committed to that. I was so like one arm out, like not trying to commit to anything. So I was kind of pushing back, thinking like, this could be cool to travel the country, but I don't want to jump the gun. I also know like I'm trying to build all these businesses. So I want to make sure like I got everything in order before I could commit to something like that. But after we saw each other going back and forth visiting Cali, and she came here a few times, I was just like, you know what? Me having my arm out resisting is not helping anyone. I know inside that this is right. And the more I resist, the more I'm pushing her away. So I basically just one day I was like, hey, I'm going to come do this fucking road trip with you. I need Wi-Fi. This is one thing, like this isn't a vacation. Like I need to be working while we're doing this, but I want to do this with you. It's been a bucket list item of mine and hers to really travel the whole country and just like on the road and just see all the cool places, be spontaneous, just whatever looks cool. You see a sign on the side of the street, be like, oh, let's go there. And now is the first time in my life where I'm actually in a position where I can make that happen. And it's a real test. It was really, the way I saw it, is two tests. Like, can I be responsible and really get my shit done when no one's telling me you have to do it? It's only me. And two, it's a test of, are me and her meant to be together, because we're about to be in a car next to each other for 30 days. Are we going to survive it? And honestly, it was one of the most amazing, profound experiences of my life. Passed both tests with many, many challenges that I'm not going to say it was easy. There was ups, there was downs, and it got very, very tough at times, but it was just so incredible. We stayed with friends along the way. I have friends, part of the network. I have friends all over the country. So we got to stay at friends' couches. So many great people hosted us. We got to see the country and all these places I've never seen before, like especially out west. It was a life-changing experience. And I just got back 1 week ago. So I'm readjusting to being in one spot again. I'm like, wait, are we supposed to get in the car and fucking get going to the next city? But I'm like, wait, I'm home now. But I recommend anyone who can make that happen. I recommend it for so many. We could dive in more, but that's just kind of my general, what brought me to do it.
Yeah. So do you have any favorite stories from the trip?
Yes. Yes, I do. I want to jump to Colorado real quick because so basically it's funny with this relationship I have with Sisa. Sometimes we'll disconnect, like we'll like get a fight, and then I'll get in this like shitty mood where I'm just like looking out the window, like totally like not connected anymore. And nothing works in either of our lives. The longer we stay that way, nothing is good or works. Like in business, like things like start fucking up, like everything. We learned that like if we don't come back to each other quick, everything else crumbles. Like, so there was a period before we made it to Colorado where we were kind of disconnected for a few days and we just like couldn't get back. And one thing on that note is that we weren't doing our daily meditation. We weren't working out. We were just kind of going around drinking, eating, having a good time. But that lack of grounding really reared its head and kind of brought a lot of things to light. So up until Colorado, we had a lot of good times too, but we were disconnected. We're like, we need a day where we just fucking come back as spirits, like full circle, like really just like connect deeply. So we were in Glenwood, Colorado, and they have some beautiful hot springs, right? So we kicked off our day by smoking this insane Cali weed. We were in the parking lot of this hot spring. We had a reservation for, and we got so high that like I was sitting in the car. I was like, I don't even know if I could go in and engage with the person at the front desk right now. Like, I don't even know if I'm able to speak. So I was like, but I really want to just get to that place where we're in the water. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna just face this fear, and we're gonna do this. So we get in there. We got all situated. They were super nice. We had this beautiful day because they had all these different pools where there's different minerals that treat your body in a different way and actually like heal you. So just spending that morning together with all the mountains around us, we were already both feeling like our souls were coming back. Like we were like re-energizing, like kind of a reset. So that felt amazing. That was really got us back into our energy. Then we went and just had this amazing lunch at this brewery. It was like this elk sausage mac and cheese and these chimichurri steaks. Like we broke bread together, had like the most incredible food. And then we went to this Airbnb. It was called the Hippie House. Mm-hmm. And it basically is this big tie-dye house in Colorado. There are all these different rooms loaded up with like bongs, bowls, everything, like to just like enable you to just really have a good time. Like my whole life when I was anywhere, like they would be like, no smoking on premises. But this place is like, yo, don't go outside. You'll get in trouble. Smoke inside. I'm like, nice. So we got there, and this is already after a great day. The hot springs, amazing food. We were feeling connected. We took acid, and then we basically lit candles in the room and had a ritual together. Like, and it was, I won't go into too many details, but it was one of the most epic experiences. I don't think I've ever connected with another human as much as that. Like we had like beautiful meditation music on, the candles, we smoked, and basically had this ritual where it's going to be hard for anyone to understand it that wasn't there, but our souls married each other that day. And like, it was, two became one. It was the most beautiful day. Like that day out of all the days of the trip was hands down just like the most epic experience, because it was when we needed to connect the most. And like, I've never felt that way with another human being in my life. And it was just such a beautiful day full of positivity and love. There's just so much love that, yeah, I'll never forget it.
That's so magical, brother. And, you know, it's so important in relationships, I think. Well, I want to unpack a few things. We'll get into relationship coach. Initially, why do you think you were so resistant on doing the trip with her? You were saying that you were, you know, because you describe yourself as I'm a yes person. I always say yes to everything, right? But when it comes to our own self, to our own vulnerabilities and our own triggers and things like that, and this is not just you, I'm saying for a lot of people to do it. Yeah. Like, why do we say no to the thing we think is, or we know in our hearts are good for us?
So it wasn't necessarily me just resisting the trip itself. It was me resisting starting a relationship. That's like the bigger thing of it. And without diving into too many details, last year I kind of had this relationship with someone else that was short-lived, very intense, and kind of crashed and burned, and really was like very devastating for me. Mm-hmm. It was a huge wound in my heart. And that was shortly before I met Sisa. So in my head, I'm like, fuck this. I need time to myself. I'm not like, I don't want anything with anyone. Like I just got hurt so bad. Like I'm not feeling that again. So even when I started talking to Sisa, she was actually, it's funny because she was a coach then. And she like wanted to coach me for free. And I mean, she'll watch this and she knows the truth. She wanted to coach me for free because she wanted to have an excuse to talk to me more. And it's okay. You know, I can't blame her. But the thing is, like, when she started coaching me, like, and I was very open about that. I was like, I just recently got out of something. It was devastating to me and I'm not looking for anything. So really it was just me pushing back on a new relationship. I was like, I need bed time. And I was doing that for a few months, but we were still seeing each other. And she showed me that even though I told her I wasn't ready to commit, she was still there for me with no expectation. She was like, hey, I just really enjoy our time together. And like the fact that she wasn't pushing me to like commit, like allowed me to naturally see that like everything I've been looking for in a woman is right in front of me. And if I were to push that away just because I recently got hurt, I'd be the biggest fucking dumbass of my life, of this world, because she was just showing me that like she's a mirror, and everything that I want, all like the caring, the love, the positivity, the good vibes, she had all that. And she really just showed me that she was there for me. So while I was resisting because I didn't want to get hurt again, it just naturally unfolded where I started to think, if I keep resisting, I'm going to lose her. And that would be the biggest mistake of my life. So luckily I caught that before I did that. And I said, you know what, let's commit. So once I actually committed to the trip before I committed to her. Mm-hmm. That was the step one, was the trip. And then once I committed to the trip, I was like, yo, we're visiting each other every month. We like have these deep, intimate experiences together. I'm like, why am I just pushing this away? So then I was like, you know what? Will you be mine? And I haven't had a girlfriend in fucking like a while. I've been doing my own things. I'm like, how do you even ask someone to be your girlfriend? I'm like, do I give you a no in school? Or will you be my girl?
Nowadays, it's like text message or DM, hey, you want to be my girl?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, it's like the Justin Timberlake song, will you be my girlfriend? I was like, I don't know if this really fucking works, but like, do you want to do? She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful for that, because she is helping me just learn and grow so much, learn so much about myself. And it's been beautiful.
That's so beautiful. And it's so important to like, I think in relationships, how they thrive is when both people are really self-aware about where they are and not being pressured by another person. And it's so good to have people that are just going to hold space, because we're not our best selves every single day, right? Like, you know, if I get into an argument with my girlfriend, very rarely it happens, but like, you know, for maybe a couple of minutes, we'll be like, okay, we just need a second. We come back and then like, okay, we choose love over being right? We want to choose happiness over being right. And that's the biggest thing in relationships, where we're always thinking in general, we always think, okay, this is my side of the story and this person did this or whatever it is, right? But it's like removing that ego and just allowing yourself to become closer to love and just moving closer and moving closer and moving closer. And when you both have that intention, you can get through anything, right? It's like, but it's that ego that kills us. And like, okay, I need to show my being right over this person. It doesn't work that way, you know, especially if you want to build something truly, because then if that's always happening, it's like one person's always right, the other person's always wrong. In the other person's head, who's always, you know, considered wrong, their mentality is like, they're going to feel insecure. They're not going to feel good. And it just, you know, spirals into something that's like, you know, kind of chaos. But
yeah, they won't want to say things because they're like afraid you just be like, you're wrong. And there's a really good quote. It's I forget exactly who said it, but it's like, being right is the poor man's version of self-worth. It's you don't need to be, and it's crazy because my ego, I've been having to check my ego so much lately because, you know, I'll like react or like get defensive or like I kind of like sometimes she'll say things and I'll think I'm under attack. It's like my primal is like coming up and like thinking I'm under attack, but really she's just coming from a place of love. And that's just my ego trying to protect me from someone who's really not attacking me. Mm-hmm. And one important lesson I learned is being right. Yeah, every once in a while, there's something where it's like, all right, that's factually incorrect. So I'm right on this one, but it's not like you should try to be right or wrong. It should be really just, the goal should be understanding each person's perspective. And that Matthew McConaughey talked about that in his book, Green Lights, as well. It's like, no, not right, not who's right. It's come to a place of understanding, because if you think about it, and Cisa's Brazilian, so she grew up in a completely different culture than me.
Yeah.
So for me to have this expectation, like that everyone's going to see things the exact way I see it, like we all have different lenses, like we all grew up with different environments and different things. So it's, how can I just expect someone to just see like things my way? It's like, I just want to understand where she's coming from. And at the end of the day, I just want her to understand where I'm coming from. And like, that's something I'm working on. It's like not being right. Just let's both understand each other's perspective. That's what's more important.
Yeah, vulnerability is so important. And just, you know, having a platform where you can be open in your communication and, obviously we want to say things in a loving way. Always use the words like, I feel this when this happens, rather than you do this, right? It's like, you know, those are a lot of things that happen.
I started reading this book, which my thing is breaking up nonviolent communication. It's like being in the jungle, but it's exactly that. It's like, rather than saying like, you always do this or you always do that, it's about separating observation from evaluation. So rather than like having a judgmental way you say about it, like be like, I factually observe that you're doing this, and the way I feel about it is this. Not mixing the evaluation with the observation, but separating them can be hugely impactful for like coming to an understanding place.
Yeah. Look at it as a dance, right? Like when you're salsing with someone, one person's moving forward while the other person's back, right? You're not both moving forward at the same time. Otherwise you hit heads. And that's exactly what happens in a relationship. You have to look at it as a dance or a martial art where you're, you know, if a blow's coming towards you, you kind of like just let it go rather than impact you, right? So it's like, there's all these little things that we should be aware of, but the biggest thing is self-awareness. And that's really where you get to a better place in a healthy relationship, when both people are very, very self-aware and they both want the same goals, right? And the same purpose and the same visions.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing though. I mean, it's so worth the work. Like you call it work because it's like, yeah, it's easy to just react and like kind of, but having to like think about these things, that's work, but it's worth it because at the end of the day, when you have someone who like understands you and is there sharing life with you and is a loving partner, that's the greatest feeling there is. And I'm just like, yeah, I haven't found this with anyone when I've shared with Cisa, and it's just like, all right, sometimes I'm like, this is fucking hard because we're like, but then you step away from it, I'm like, this is all worth it because it's a beautiful harmony we share, and it's someone to share life with. It's important.
Beautiful, man. I think there's so many parallels in in our lives. And I had my time where after I broke up my engagement, I was single for a couple of years, enjoying myself. And like, I was like telling myself, I'm never going to like, you know, change for anyone. I'm never going to like have to deal with anyone else's bullshit. And, you know, the moment some drama hits, I'm out, you know, that kind of thing. That mentality was, but it was like, it wasn't giving me what I truly wanted. And that was like a deep, deep love connection.
Right.
And when I met my girlfriend, Kate, she was just so as present with me. She was so loving and kind and never put any pressure on me. And like, we were just, and it would happen during Corona too. So we were able to just like be without the pressures of, oh, I have to go to work and like all this kind of stuff. It was a really nice time. And it just showed me that, wow, everything I want is right here. So at the time she was going through some stuff herself. So I just was present. I wasn't like asking her for anything from her end in terms of commitment and that stuff. But then eventually she was able to move through that, whatever she needed to move through. And then we were able to really just deeply connect. And we honor each other in this sacred moment every single morning, every single day. It's really nice. But again, it takes a lot of work. You know, you have to plan out these magical experiences, like going to, you know, these hot springs or going for a hike and, you know, going to a nice dinner. It takes work. You never can take that love for granted, and you know, those sacred moments, you just like, you know, not appreciating the person.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to add to that is having like rituals as a couple is extremely important too. Like one thing I learned, like I mentioned earlier, we weren't meditating together every morning, and that was showing, right? So like whatever you need to do to like get grounded with each other, it's so important that you do those things, because that's where you like can put the ego aside and come from a place of your being, of like what actually loves that other soul, rather than trying to be in defense mode, right? So one big lesson I learned is, hey, ever do a long trip again with her, I'm not ditching meditation. Meditation is going to be priority. Every morning, start our day with meditation to get grounded. And yeah, find what, I don't know if everyone meditates is watching this, but whether you got to work out together or yoga or have some ritual just to get on the same mindset and frequency of love.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Whatever steps you back into the heart is what I always say. Like eye gazing is another one. You know, there's an exercise called Love, Fears, and Desires. That's another one where you tell people, or you tell your partner what you love about them, what you fear in general in life, and then what you desire. And like both people just say thank you at the end after they shared, without any judgment or anything. So you're able to fully unload your mind, your heart, whatever. And the other person is just non-judgmental about it. So there's so many different techniques.
I'm going to do that one. That sounds really great.
Awesome, brother. All right. So moving on from the relationship stuff. That was amazing, by the way. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm glad we're very the same in a lot of ways. I love that.
100%, bro. So what's next for you? Are you working on anything other than the business and the meetup?
Besides BeYu Media and the Jersey City Tech Meetup, I'm actually collaborating with a brother of mine, Alex. He's someone that I met through my tech meetups, but then got more involved with in a men's group called Modern Renaissance Man. And over the course of maybe 2 years, we've just gotten very close with each other and just are very aligned with everything. So me and him recently started an endeavor, and we kind of started in the beginning of this year. I don't want to dive into too many details, but just from the experience we've had, it's so exciting to know that like I have a business partner that we are so on the same page about everything. We mastered communication. For the first time in my life, I did business partner thing right, where at the beginning we actually had a deep conversation, like you just mentioned, about the fears and all that. Like we talked about what do you fear could go wrong with a business partnership? What's gone wrong in the past? Like we just like created such a solid foundation of what this looks like that we basically have a quick 2-year strategy that we're implementing right now. And I know I'm saying this all so vague because I'm not trying to give shit away because we're kind of like still in the works, but it's every week and every month that we're pursuing what we strategized. The universe is just consistently showing us, you're doing the right shit. This is the right path. This is the right path. And we're validating with like we're talking to a lot of executives with our ideas to like make sure it's actually a need in the market. So what we're working on is awesome. It's a big social media marketing company, but a different level than BeYu Media. And our first collaboration is actually going to be May 26th. That's what the tech meetup event is, in person in Jersey City, May 26th. But I'm collaborating with Alex to kind of put our brains together and start showing people like that we're really building something together. So we're doing it May 26th at Bella Unified Brand Experience Labs in Hoboken, I believe. It's a cusp of Hoboken and Jersey City, but basically we're going to be having this panel of paid media buyers. So different people that are doing the paid ad space, which is kind of the direction we're going with this thing. Joe Cameron's going to be on the panel. We're really excited to make this really awesome and a big summer kickoff, welcome back to events sort of deal. So
finally, everybody wants to get back in person. You know, it's tough to do everything just all digitally always.
Yeah, I've learned. I think people are getting tired of digital events. Like my attendance for the digital events has just been kind of going down lately. And like, I was trying to figure out why. And I'm like, I think people are just overlooking at their screens and they want to get back in person. So May 26th, I hope you'll be there if you're around.
Absolutely, brother. If I am, I certainly will.
Nice. But yeah, that's what we're working on. I'm really excited about that. Other than that, just really just trying to continue learning every day, doing a lot of reading, just growing and just trying to really be the best person I could be.
Yeah. You know, that's amazing. Thank you for that. And thank you for building this community because, you know, there's not a lot of people out there building positive communities where everybody is, you know, trying to help each other out in a non-judgmental way. But recently, I think you were like traveling and I saw one of your posts that you made. I think it was in like Ohio or something like that in some kind of park. And you talked about how you were so sick of all the division going on. So can you tell us a little bit about elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really that stemmed from the vaccination, right? Like it's okay if people want to get vaccinated, right? Like that's fine. But like if someone doesn't want to get vaccinated because it's their body, whatever health things or just wanting to just protect your temple, whatever it is, then people slam you and be like, oh, it's your responsibility, it's your duty. And they don't talk to you. And like, I was like, what the hell? Like I respect you and you and your decision. And it sucks. And even so it kind of like it stemmed from just me seeing a lot of people like being weird about me not wanting to get the vaccination, right? That's just, I'll just say it here. Like, I don't want that for me and my body, right? And the way I see it, and I'm gonna try to be so careful about how I say shit here.
Yeah, of course.
If everyone's so concerned about me getting the vaccination, right? Why don't you worry about yourself? And if you got the vaccination, then you're good. Like, so why do you need me to get it too? Like, you got it, you're safe. Why do I need to get it if that's not what I want to do with my body? And then it kind of trickled into a little more things like politics. But I don't like to dive into politics a lot because that's kind of a negative frequency that I bump. But like, it's just like people were so extreme on the left or so extreme on the right. They say, fuck you, you don't believe in what I believe in. But they don't ever like ask someone like, yo, what was your environment when you're growing up? Like, what was like, what your home life like? Like, no one's trying to understand like why they have these beliefs. It's just like, if you don't believe what I believe, fuck you. And I think that's a terrible way for people to live rather than just trying to have a dialogue and come from a place of curiosity. It feels good to get this off my chest now because it's really been weighing on me. Like, it's really upsetting to me that people are acting that way when it's like, I love everyone. It's like, why can't you just respect my opinion and what I believe, and I'll respect yours.
Dude, 100%. I'm on the same exact wavelength. And, like we have so much love for everyone, and everybody absolutely has the right to choose what they want to do. But this is something that's going to go in your body. It's going to affect you the rest of your life, whether you want to believe it or not. It very well could be very healthy for you or whatnot. But I also trust my body. Like, I trust my ability to make decisions for my health. What I put in my body is my temple. So the food that I eat, what I listen to, what I meditate to, that's all inputs that I put in. And then I just will not put something in that I don't like necessarily vibe with. And that should be fine. But like to nowadays it's like, if you're a healthy person, that's not enough. Like, you have to prove that you like got this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm like, my immune system is badass. Like, I take care of myself.
I'm good, guys. I'm good. Just let me be, Let
me be. Stop judging me. You're not above me because you got stuck with it. It's like, and it's the same kind of people who are like, I believe women have the right to choose, not to dive too deep into like abortion and all that, but I believe women have the right to choose what they do with their body. And a lot of people who also believe that are judging you for not getting the vaccination. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, but you said her body, her choice. Why not my body, my choice? Like, I think logically, and I see a lot of conflicting logical views about all this. So I'm just like, think logically here, but
and then what this is all designed to do is just to like create so much mental gymnastics in somebody's head that they just give up any independent thinking, and then they just go with whatever they're told. So throughout this whole, this pandemic, we've been heard so many conflicting things, like masks work, masks don't work, even from like the top level guys like Fauci. It's like, okay, so if you're putting in all this like disinformation and information, like, it just will fry anyone's brain who's actually so invested in, wanting to know from like a higher source, like, what should we do, But if you believe in yourself and you understand what immunity is and what, you want out of this life, and you're not hurting anyone, then absolutely everybody should have the right to do what they want to do. We're given these gifts by God, not anyone else.
This is why we vibe, bro. This is why we vibe, because we have the same beliefs on that. It's like, yo, come on. Like, you don't always need to be looking for the answer. Like, we all have the answers within. Like, it's all right here. Just trust yourself. Really. I mean, I'm not being reckless here. I'm not saying like, if you have health issues, like, don't get the vaccine. Like, everyone knows their own situation. I respect that. All I ask is you respect this too.
100%. And that's what this life is about, because it's so short, right? Like, we have this little experience, and I want to have a good quality of life. And these are the decisions that I make based on what I want to do. I want to create a limitless life. So I become an entrepreneur. I want to live healthy. So I eat right, and I drink good water, and I exercise, and I do all the things that I need to do. But I don't want anyone else telling me what I need to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what Limitless is. That's the same reason I didn't like corporate and I want to be an entrepreneur, because it's like, I want to call the shots. But the world, and it's so funny, the world puts all this pressure on you. They say growing up, don't get peer pressured into trying experimental drugs. And what's happening right now?
Wow, unless it's labeled, exactly.
Unless it comes
trusted source.
Trusted experimental.
Yeah. So Ben, why do you think that you came here to Earth as Ben Yurcisin? What did you want to experience?
I want to experience love and connection. Like, there's a reason I'm like doing this tech meetup stuff, and like this is all like just the very beginning. Like, I see myself having a huge impact and a huge movement. Like, Ben Yurcisin came here to bring people together and cut the divide. I think that's like the simplest way to put it. Obviously, I could go more in depth, but I'll just keep it at that.
And what does God or spirituality mean to you, if anything, and what role does it play in your life?
Well, spirituality, especially more as of late, means a lot to me. And God, like, I mean, people get all weird about the God word. Like, I'm not like a Christian. I don't like believe any specific religion, but God, to me, that's just kind of like the overarching energy of the collective. Like, I'm God, you're God, we're God right here. So that's kind of how I see the God thing. And then when I meditate, that's like, meditation is like my like pathway to spirituality. And I've been, especially when I became an entrepreneur, I've been practicing more and more, because now I can, like, if I need to like take a hour meditation during my day, I can do that whenever I want. So that's kind of like going back to your source. And for me, that's like when I get the closest to God, is when I could put the ego aside, right? All these things that like, that have been conditioned on us from our upbringing. Spirituality for me is kind of shedding all those layers and just like being your truest energy form, and kind of being able to share that with people and feel whole and at peace. So really that peace element is what really brings me into spirituality, because my mind is always crazy. Like, I'm always like, what am I doing next? Like, I'm always moving. So for me, if I don't have that spirituality, then life goes by too fast. So it helps me just come back to myself and really just be God.
Right on.
What about you, bro? I want to hear your answer on that. I'm curious.
Oh man. So, you know, what's so funny? Everybody asks me the same thing right after they say, what is, you know, so I answer every single week. So I'm trying to come up with like new ways, but essentially it's, I think that whatever we pray to the, okay, so our minds, our universe, everything is completely unlimited. So it's limitless. There's nothing out there that could not possibly exist, right? So when the extent to in which we open our minds to what is out there, the more we realize, okay, I don't know so much of that's not out there, right? So it's just this ever evolving journey, right? So our souls, we start out as God, we become that, we separate, and that was the whole purpose of like creating these lives in these third dimensions and all whatever. So that eventually we'll learn all the lessons that we need to through, and I believe in reincarnation. So multiple millions and trillions of whatever lifetimes it takes in order for us to get back to the simplest truth, which is love. And we start with love, we separate, we go through every iteration, we become like, you know, all the worst things of humanity possibly can be, and all the best things. And we have to go through that muck, that shit, that goodness, that love. And then now we circle back. So we understand what the entire experience can possibly be. And that experience is infinite. So it's kind of mind blowing to think that this is just a little piece of the whole journey, this life of ours.
So do you think, since you feel so much love now, that you're close to closing the loop of reincarnation?
That's a great question. I would like to think that, you know, that's like coming from an ego. Yeah, I'm almost done.
I'm fucking tired, man.
Yeah, but going back to the previous question I asked you is like, yeah, I think that I came here to first find love within myself, because that was a really hard journey in its own. You know, I had a lot of lack of love for myself and for other people. I had a lot of anger. So I had to first understand love for myself, and then understand that everybody here is capable of so much love. So what my problem, or not my problem, but what I'm trying to work on right now is to never judge anyone else, even though they're in a frequency of not being in love, but to believe in them, to love them so that they can get back into that frequency. Because right now, so many people are disconnected from that reality of what truth is, right? And that's just love. Yeah. And so that's really where I need to work on myself, and not feel that, you know, oh, they're just like, they're lost, they're hopeless, you know.
Yeah, that's so hard for me too, because it's so, like, I don't know, it's so easy for me to be like, oh, fuck that guy. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's my upbringing, like from Jersey, whatever it is, but I'm like, oh, fuck it. But it's like, trying not to be judgmental and compassionate to others is like the biggest test ever, especially when you're like more awakened, because you just, yeah, and empathy is what it really comes down to. Like, look at that person, be like, yo, they just didn't get the opportunity to have this awakening that I had, right? So, but it's easier said than done. I totally understand that.
Yeah, and we don't know what pain they went through in life, what kind of upbringing, what kind of you know, social, you know, social like conditioning that they've received, you know, so many different things, how they were treated by their friends or their family or relationships, if they've been pain. So everybody walks a life until you're walking their shoes. You have no idea. So that's really what I'm working on right now in my life, in terms of how I outreach to other people, But yeah, it's to answer your question is like, yeah, like I would like to think that, but I know that there's so much deeper levels where I can get. And you know, you talked about psychedelics a little bit, but psychedelics have really helped me tap into that, you know, those unreachable places in my heart that I never was able to get to. And I was able to experience them. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have so much fucking love. And like my heart is my superhero power, you know? Like,
yes, yes.
but then I have to constantly remind myself, and through meditation, that's where you get back into it. It's like the psychedelics only show you, they give you a bigger perspective of awareness, but like you really have to keep, you know, climbing into that, and you know, making sure that you're not closing it off, because it's so easy in this world to close your heart off, you know.
Exactly. And have you practiced ayahuasca?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did like 6 ceremonies.
And has that been huge breakthroughs for you? Because I still have yet to have my first.
Okay, Ben, we'll have to talk about this.
Yes,
but yeah, man, it was the reason why I started Om Life. Essentially.
My God, wow.
In a single sentence, yeah.
That's fucking beautiful. Yeah, we'll talk about this. We should, yeah, we'll
have another conversation after your first ayahuasca experience for sure.
And then, wait, hold on. And then I'll come back on that one. I'll be like,
there you go. I knew it was going to make an appearance at some point.
You know, quick, my cameo.
Awesome. Ben, so thank you so much for coming on, brother. How can we learn more about you?
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I love this show. Now that we've done this and I've experienced this, I want to go back and watch all your other episodes. So I want to see all the answers you said to that the question. But yeah, so you can learn more about me. I'm very active on Instagram. BeYu Worldwide. BeYu Worldwide is my personal account, and from there there's links to all my other accounts, which is JC Tech Meetup and BeYu Media. So I mean, yeah, Instagram is great. If professional connection, find me on LinkedIn, Ben Yurcisin, Facebook, and I'm happy to connect with all of you and chat about how we can collab, or even just have a chat and just fucking hang out and jam.
Thank you, brother. You're such a beautiful soul, and I'm so glad to have this conversation. And I learned so much about you this time too. So we'll have to do this more often.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you so much. And yeah, we definitely got to hang soon, bro. It's been a minute.
100%.